talk loudly because we don't have like a portable mic.
I have a question. The first guy is back in the deck.
Yeah, my question is, what are your thoughts? Is Mr. Foot, or as I call him, Jacob, and Richard Hatch the same guy, but good and evil? Because they obviously both never age.
Richard Hatch from Survivor?
Or Battlestar Galactica.
Or Battlestar Galactica.
Or Streets of San Francisco.
Right. What are your thoughts on that?
Wait, so Jacob and Richard Alpert?
Richard Alpert, yes.
And
they
it's,
both never age. So is it a good and evil conflict between the two?
well, I mean, I was at a Live Lost podcast yesterday. Somebody said that maybe Jacob that we saw is just like a fall guy, and Richard Alpert is Jake. Is it you, Mark?
Yeah.
And maybe that that Jacob's a fall guy, and Richard's actually Jacob, kind of in disguise, so he's kind of safe.
Well, how come they both don't age?
What was that?
How come they both don't age? If it's a fall guy, will he age?
Well, I mean, whatever magic that we don't know controls the island keeps them ageless. Ryan, do you have like any thoughts on why they don't age?
Well, I like the idea of Alfred, basically saying that there's another leader, sort of like the man the curtain sort of thing, but I think that they discussed that at length. Locke basically, early on, accused Alfred of fabricating a Jacob, and at the end, he was surprised that there was a real Jacob. So I'm not necessarily sure. I like the idea of Alfred as the second in command. What I would be curious about is there that position for the other, the enemy? Do they have an advisor? Is that what the candidate is, or is that what the smoke monster is?
It's like a second in command to Esau or Deadwood Guy, as some people call him.
Deadwood Guy.
DWG.
DWG, yeah. I haven't conformed to that yet.
You should say it right, correctly.
Esau.
ESO. How about over here?
The Christian shepherd, do you think that he is the smoke monster, or is the guy who was other Locke, or is it a different person, or is it actually a Christian shepherd?
So, yeah, I mean, I think Christian shepherd that we see on the island is definitely like a vessel type person, like John Locke is now, it seems like, as far as we know.
I have a question.
Okay.
Locke's body was a vessel, yet his body was still remaining like in that case that they bought out. Christian Shepherd's body was never found.
It's true. Well, maybe it's laying somewhere. Total Weekend at Bernie style.
By the boars.
Or eaten by the boars. That's kind of gruesome. Who said eaten by the boars? Man, that's hardcore.
That was in fourth or fifth episode, right?
Yeah. Had to burn the fuselage.
Somebody did ask the question at the panel if Jacob had taken the form of somebody else or something else, and they definitively said no.
Yeah.
That is true. That was a really good question. And they answered that pretty definitively.
They said right away from new.
So as far as we know, Jacob has not been anybody else that we saw. So I guess that kills the Richard Alpert thing, right?
It's only been Richard Alpert this whole time.
It's only been Richard Alpert the whole thing. Pretty good.
Anybody?
Raise your hand if you want to ask a question.
In the back.
Do you think the thing we got today about the Lost University had anything to do with the group being in Ann Arbor and the University of Michigan being there?
Say again, I didn't catch the beginning.
Sorry, I'll say it again. The Lost University thing we got at the panel, do you think that has anything to do with the group working in Ann Arbor at the University of Michigan?
So Dharma, are you talking about the Lost University?
Yeah, the thing we got today.
Oh, is it in Ann Arbor?
Yeah, it's in University of
They
Michigan.
used some of the clips with the group sitting in the circle and everything.
The thing that doesn't make sense though is that it's called Lost University. It doesn't seem like part of the show because it says Lost in the title. It's not like
they're just playing
something within the show.
Yeah, I think they're just playing with our heads.
I would say,
I'm probably wrong.
They would have
called this number yet?
Yes.
Yeah, we talked about it. It's, you get an answering kind of a message saying that he's on sabbatical until September 22nd, which is the day of the plane crash.
Or the non-plane crash.
Or non, yeah, non.
But the fact that they're calling it Lost University, even if you go to the website, it has the ABC branding on top of it, and it talks about Blu-ray. And my understanding is that the date actually coincides with maybe a Blu-ray game disc or a special edition disc being released. So I wouldn't say it's a full alternative reality game. It's probably more just general marketing from ABC.
Okay.
Coincide with like the new DVD coming out, there's gonna be a bunch of like Dharma extras. On the new DVD.
There's the whole Dharma collection.
Because that's what they were saying.
Oh, there's a whole Dharma collection you can buy. Yeah, I saw that. So is that what those tapes are? Like I saw the.
You get like the big set.
Yeah.
You get a reel-to-reel front. It's the whole Dharma edition.
It's like $95, is it $95, something like that on Amazon?
Totally worth it.
All right, man.
I'm gonna get you this time.
After all the commercials that we saw, did any announcement interview say that after the bomb exploded that the plane landed in LA and you don't think so?
No, I hope not. No, I just hope not.
Who else hopes not? But,
I just don't see how it can work. You only have 18 hours. Put commercials in there, what do you have, about 13 hours? You're going to tell a story, you land, and then you got to go back to that island?
They don't have to
Is
go back
it bigger
to
cover up now, like it was last season?
it's like I like the idea from Chris that maybe they stick an alternate timeline. It's an alternate timeline where in the end the same it happens, but it's just skewed, which kind of parallels the whole situation with Desmond and Charlie, and Desmond and Miss Hawking, where she said, even though I could have prevented the guy with the red shoes from dying, he eventually would have died anyway. Like you can't, it eventually course correct itself. And if that's what like you said, and it kind of makes sense that maybe that's what it may be setting up. I mean, did you guys maybe feel that, or what did you kind of get from?
Something similar to that they're still going to end up on the island, but under different circumstances.
I think it was Joe that pointed out that in one interview they had said that my hope was that season 6 was going to be a single timeline going forward. That we're done with the time travel and we've done all of these gimmicks. Let's just go forward. But in an interview it was said that they said within the first 6 episodes they would resolve to a single timeline. So to me that leaves the possibility of something parallel happening at the start of the season. And
even if they get the verdict, it's going to be difficult to get that back into 6 episodes, considering if they're going to go back into 2004.
And I wonder how the question of Charlie and Desmond and Claire fits into that. I still haven't figured that out. And yeah.
And they did really put an emphasis in that video of Claire and Charlie, which was interesting.
And also, Jacob says, it only ends once, everything else is progress. So somewhat that is, Hurley's a lot happier now that it's good luck versus bad luck. Kate's not going to have a bad relationship with the mother because she didn't kill the mother's husband. You know what I'm saying? So this is progress.
That's a good point.
She's still on the run.
She's still on the run, but it's progress.